without further ado, let's get stuck into the action on the card. As I mentioned, this is a title bout, and it's women's Muay Thai, 3 rounds of 2 minutes for the WMO South African Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing to you first, she'll be fighting out of the blue corner. With the trunk colors of all blue, weighing in at 62.45 kilograms, she stands 1.65 meters tall, with a record of 3 wins against a single loss, and fighting out of Nakeng, Cape Town, presenting the second of our 2 Meltdown title contenders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kristin Clarke. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner with the trunk colors of red. She weighed in at 62.9 kilograms, standing 1.7 meters tall, with a perfect record of 5 wins and no losses. She fights out of Camp Fight in Cape Town. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Zoe Klaassen.
All right, we're live, we're back. Zoe Klaassen stamping in her opponent's corner. Something I like to do myself. Get in there and put some little bit of a bad omen into your opponent's corner. We've got Kristin Clarke fighting out of Nakeng in the Bellville and Durbanville area versus Zoe Klaassen, Camp Fight in the Tableview area. Both girls determined to put on a good show here. See what they're made of.
Yeah, it's main card time down at TFP for Full Swing. Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube as well. Follow us on all of the socials. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so proud to give you the best of Muay Thai out of Cape Town in South Africa tonight. Grandwest Casino and Entertainment World. Will that change somebody's luck in the fight lineup tonight? You know, this has got a belt on the line. It's a vacant belt. WMO is the sanctioning organization of the South African national title. Zoe Klaassen up against Kristin Clarke. A lot has been said about this bout. A lot of people have been looking forward to it. They've done the press rounds, they've done the media tour, they've been on Expresso talking about their upcoming bout. And here these two ladies are about to face off, and it's for the gold.
Yeah, they've both got some wins under their belts. Some impressive displays. I think Zoe's got 5 wins to name with 0 losses. Kristin turned 25 on Thursday, I think it was. 3 wins, 1 loss to her name. Let's see who walks out of this one, the victor.
Kristin Clarke, 24 years old, standing 1.65 meters tall with a reach of 60 centimeters. Fights out of Cape Town. She's a master's student during the day, so studying to pay the bills. But who knows? Maybe the world of Muay Thai is going to be paying her bills down the line. And yeah, she's quite the athlete. Obviously the scholar, such as yourself, Carl
Yeah,
Bergman.
for sure. She's studying at GWC. I think she's doing language proficiency and looking at impacts on social affairs. She's going to definitely be looking at a different kind of impact tonight, though.
Zoe Klaassen, a bit younger, 19 years old, standing 1.7, so she's got a bit of the height advantage. Student as well. And fighting out a camp fight. Big crowd here in, especially the big fight atmosphere from the camp fight people.
Yeah, Zoe looking to put her stamp on. She says she'd like to further her career and maybe even, you know, turn pro at some point to make a little bit of money off of what she does.
Oh, if looks could kill, Zoe Klaassen just stared daggers at Kristin Clarke on the turn there. So it's all set for an absolute cracker here as we get underway with round number 1 coming up next. Another 5 bouts, including this one down the stretch. 2 championship bouts are going to be coming. This is the first of the 2 South African championship bouts. And of course, the main event, the WMO International Welterweight Championship, the biggie of tonight, with big action here at Thaiholics Fight Promotions, TFP 4, full swing.
So this is a title fight, but still only 3 rounds and 2 minutes per round with a 1-minute rest. Referee John De Blaine in the middle, starting us off.
And starting us off is a straight kick to the chest by Zoe Klaassen.
Yeah, Zoe Klaassen comes out with a big teep, setting that range in motion.
She's got to use that height. You know, she's got all the attributes here. She's got the height. She can keep Kristin Clarke away.
Kristin had a big shot there. You can see her adjusting her mouthpiece in her mouth. Zoe making sure she keeps her range. Big combinations coming out. Keeping Kristin at bay with that teep.
Nice going upstairs and downstairs, paying attention to all parts of the body.
Yeah, I think if Kristin wants to counter this, she's going to need to maybe look at catching those teeps. She's taking a very slow approach to this first round. There are only 3 rounds though, so she needs to pick it up straight from the word go. But definitely a very Muay Thai style. I think she spent some time in Thailand. I'm not 100% on that, but I think she spent some time over there, trained a little bit. Sometimes that does influence your style. You know, you learn to, even the way she wobbles her head, that's a very like Thai thing, to get hit and just shake it off and play around a bit in the first round, fill your opponent out. But she's definitely got a lot of power. She's been, you know, in kickboxing world for a long time as well. So yeah, we'd like to see what she can do here.
She seems to have rehydrated well overnight. Obviously, after the weigh-in, you're allowed to start eating those carbs again, the things that you've missed. Not too much. No KFC just yet, but definitely Nando's.
Yeah, for sure. Funny thing is, I actually saw the guys from Team Angola slipping into KFC last night before I left Grandwest.
Some listen, some don't, but Zoe Clarke, she's putting in the good work here in the first round. She's definitely having the best of it, I'd say.
So I'd say this is what Kristin needs to do if she wants to get a bit of an up, is to actually step in. Oh, throwing an elbow after the referee broke them.
My apologies, Zoe Klaassen, not Zoe Clarke. It's Kristin Clarke. As I get caught up with the names, I am only human.
Kristin finishing off nicely there with a couple of stiff jabs. But I think, you know, with the way that she was keeping range, using the teeps, lots of big punches, I think Zoe sort of outpointed Kristin in that round. See coaches David Dornbrack and Russell de Villiers in the corner here. 2 very experienced fighters on the Muay Thai scene in Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah, Russell's been around ever since I can remember being involved in the Cape Town fight scene over a decade ago. It was always Russell with that shock of white hair that he used to bring to the ring. You fought him?
Yeah, I fought him in my second pro bout, the K1 match. Russell, I think, was at the time maybe around 47, 48 years old. But he threw those punches like he was in his 20s. Lots of power behind him.
How did that fight go for the 2 of you?
It went to a TKO in the second round. I just put the pressure on, got the call from the referee, counted out, and I think after the second count, Russell said he wouldn't like to continue.
Yeah, well, you're going to take the lessons from a coach who's been there and done it all, like Russell. David Dornbrack as well, very experienced in the mixed martial arts and Muay Thai world. Zoe Klaassen, Kristin Clarke, they square up for round number 2.
Crowd trying to lift their spirits here, lift the roof at the same time, get the girls amped, get them hyped for the second round. It's a big one for them. Got some gold on the line here.
And away we go. The bell rings. Round number 2 at TFP full swing. Zoe Klaassen, Kristin Clarke. Zoe Klaassen in the red, Kristin Clarke in the blue.
You also notice with this being a Pro-Am title fight, no shin guards.
Elbow pads are in use though.
Yeah, I think this might be the first time for both girls actually fighting out of the shin guards. We're seeing a lot of big checks, but I think that makes you a little bit tentative as well to throw your own kicks. And yet, we're seeing that Zoe's throwing them, you know, with abandon. Good for her, good to get that out of the way and just, you know, land those big strikes.
She's really utilizing her height advantage so well on setting up those teeps. Her timing is beautiful, and she's making Kristin Clarke have to think again, and it could be panic station soon coming into round number 3. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out, but it's a good strategy being adopted by Zoe Klaassen right now.
Yeah, just staying on the outside, big, long jabs, lots of kicks, going down low, using the teep. Every time Kristin tries to come in, even if she's just standing still, we're getting that teep in the front, which, you know, makes you not want to come forward. And she can't afford to be standing on the back foot and trying to fight from the outside because she doesn't have the reach, and you can see that now.
Don't go to war if you can avoid it. You don't have to. You got the height, use that height. I mean, Carl, you normally fight as the taller fighter, so you know exactly what this is all about.
Yeah, and it's something, I mean, even though she's a taller fighter, she's still the aggressor here. We often, as taller fighters, work off the back foot as your opponent comes in because they're the ones trying to close the space. But she's got a lot of power behind her, so she's actually putting Kristin on the back foot.
Yeah, on the commentary tonight, Dev Curragh, as well as my good friend, Music Festival head. We've had a couple of good times listening to rock and roll music in the middle of nowhere, haven't we? Carl Bergman, professional Muay Thai fighter himself. So adding all of the spice that you need to understand what's going on there right now. All the spice is coming from Zoe Klaassen.
Seeing a little hematoma, a little bit of a welt on Kristin's head there from all these shots that she's taking.
Beautiful team.
Zoe not taking as many, being very more reserved with her strikes.
The face of concentration that she is wearing, it hasn't changed, it hasn't flinched, and she's just stuck at it. There's a clear game plan that she's sticking to, and she's not being brought into anything wild or exchange.
Yeah, for sure. I thought maybe that Kristin would be putting a lot more pressure on, especially like there's simple things that you can do to avoid a teep. Sweep it out the way, catch it, especially if it's coming in all the time. But I think it's actually catching her unawares, and she's not really prepared for that. So maybe, I don't know if Russell's telling her in the corner there to put the pressure on, maybe look for those catches, bring in a bit of more technique, maybe some sweeps. Last round, she has to go for broke now.
Yeah, and it's almost a case of her having to now take the risks to cut that distance, to get in close, to be on the chest of Zoe Klaassen, you know, not allow too much space to operate with that big leg, that big teep kick that she's being hit with. Is it possible for her to work her way back into this, or are you saying, at the moment, would you say it's comfortably 2 rounds in the can to Zoe Klaassen?
I'd say, yeah, Zoe's been doing really well just to outpoint her and just to keep her at bay. So we're looking for either maybe a 10-8 round or maybe a KO finish. See what they can pull out here. But the way Zoe's looking at the moment, still looking pretty fresh, hands in the air, the crowd's behind her. It's up to Kristin to make those adjustments and to come with some big power if she can. I know she had a knee operation last year. I wonder if that's maybe affecting her. You can see, I think it was the left leg, and it's the one that's being taken a lot of kicks. So she may be a little bit ginger on that front one.
Yeah, well, she's got to get stuck in. She really bit down on her mouth guard when I caught a glimpse of her face before the beginning of the round. Now let's see if she's going to follow through with that attitude.
And that's a good way to do it as well. Keep your hands up, take the kick, and follow forward after that. You're not always going to be able to outstrike and be the first one. Sometimes you need to take a shot and get in, especially if you're the shorter fighter and your opponent's using these long-range strikes. She needs to show a little bit more urgency. Good check there.
Zoe Klaassen, only 19 years old, but fighting of the maturity of somebody many, many years beyond her age. Such an exciting prospect for South African Muay Thai coming up. Kristin Clarke, 24 years old. She's still got a lot of mileage left on the clock. You know, we got 2 very solid female contenders coming out of South Africa. We have to be very proud of that.
Yeah, for sure. We can see Kristin busy switching up on the power there, bringing in some bigger kicks. A little bit of a better round, but she still can't really afford to be on the back foot the way she's fighting right now. And I can hear her corner shouting forward, telling her to put on the pressure.
That leg, the left leg of Kristin Clarke has been chewed up. It's looking pretty red and blue right now. And again, she just eats a big kick to that thigh area. As I said it, as though she was listening to me, Zoe Klaassen.
Oh, goes for the high kick. Goes with the hands up. There you go, she needs to do that more often. Just take that kick and walk forward. Last 25 seconds of the round.
So important that you make sure you get revenge for every shot you take in the sport of Muay Thai.
Definitely, and as far as the Thais are concerned, if you're the one going forward, you can be eating shots, and a lot of the time, if you take one and throw one, they're going to score you because you're the one that went forward.
It's been all Zoe Klaassen, calm, cool, collected, comfortable, and making use of her height the whole way through this fight.
Yeah, I think she did exactly what she needed to do there. Keep her opponent at range. And just make sure that she did what she needed to do to go and win that fight. But we'll see what the judges say now. You can see the elation in the red corner. Zoe jumping on David Dornbrack. Kristin's body language looking a little bit down. Russell got her in his corner there. See Pork on Bowl in the background there will be fighting on our next card, TFP 5, the level up. He will be fighting against Izzy Ibrahim for making his title defense for the super middleweight, I think it is. Both ladies getting a round of applause here for their efforts tonight. Crew Nicholas Radley, Salmo co-president there with the belt. Super lightweight belt, 63.5 kgs. Pro-Am SA title. Referee Jean-Andre Blaine calls the girls to the middle.
Ladies and gentlemen, handing over the belt to the winner will be the co-president of the South African Muay Thai organization, Nicholas Radley, as we go to the judges' scorecards to declare your winner coming by way of unanimous decision victory. And new South African World Muay Thai Organization Super Lightweight Champion, fighting out of the red corner, Zoe Klaassen.
Yeah, I think we could see that. Most people in the crowd could see that. The elation in the corner. The Thai colors wrapped around her waist. South African gold for Zoe Klaassen from Camp Fight. You can see how much this means to her. Tears streaming down her face. Goes over to her supporters in the crowd. Well done. Some things there for Kristin to think about. Come back, fighting strong. Got a great opener for us there. The first fight on the main card tonight. We have another Pro-Am title up next. You see Zoe took a little trip. Zoe took a little tumble coming in, but she composed herself. Super serious other than that little smile she had just before the fight started. You can see the range that she had, using that teep to such great use. It's very effective, especially the fact that she's going to the body, coming up to the face, mixing it up. So there we saw where Kristin tried to catch the kick. That was pulled out again. I think what Kristin needed to focus on there maybe a little bit more is looking at catching those kicks and maybe sweeping them aside. Definitely needed to counter off that. The one thing that she did do well though was take those kicks up high. One like that come forward again, and as soon as she did that, you have Zoe on the back foot for half a second. Gives a little opening for her just to put a little bit of pressure. I think you can see in the body language there, maybe not as happy with herself as she could have been, but it's something to work on. Meanwhile, Zoe getting that strap wrapped around her waist. Crew Nicholas Radley congratulating her. As we have a quick look backstage, the guys warming up. Matthew Murray, he'll be taking on Rafael Wozniak tonight.